Hey everyone, welcome back. This week I have been spending time in this all-new 2024 Hyundai Kona Limited all-wheel drive. MSRP on this is about $34,695, and honestly I think this is the best compact SUV on the market today. So let's go ahead and take you for a walk around it. We'll dive into some interior impressions as well, take a look at the features, and then take it for a drive. This is finished in Mirage Green. I really like the design of this new refreshed Kona. I think it just looks absolutely amazing coming down the road. You got an LED light bar that just shines in the front there. LED headlights as well, LED turn signals all the way around, which is super nice to see. You have 19-inch wheels here, has a perfect amount of modern elements that's done tastefully and not too polarizing at all. Let's go ahead and open that power lift gate. It does have a smart trunk feature as well. If you walk up to it, it'll open automatically, so if your hands are full, it's not that big of a deal. But back here, you do have a lot of space to put some things. I believe it's about 25 cubic feet. You do get a spare tire as well, which is nice to see. Not bad at all. If the rear seat's folded down, you could probably honestly fit a 65-inch TV here. The back seat is very spacious as well. I'm 6 foot. The driver's seat is in my position. And this being the Limited, it does have leatherette seats that are extremely comfortable. Very easy ingress and egress back here. You do get rear AC vents as well, and 2 USB-C ports with a little bit of storage. Cargo net back here. Pull down center armrest with a couple cup holders. Very comfortable. I have about an inch of headroom and about 3 inches of leg room. I've had people back here that are 6'3" and 6'4", 2 different people, and they were very comfortable, albeit their knees were brushing ever so slightly up against the back of the seat. They were super comfortable and still had plenty of headroom, no complaints at all. So this is a very nice upgrade to see in the new refreshed Kona. Also, a nice upgrade is that dash. It's very futuristic, looks very nice. We'll cover a little bit more when we go up there, but you do have dual 12.3-inch screens there. Looks absolutely incredible. I love it. Also, you do have a power sunroof as well. Before we hop in the driver's seat, let's go ahead and take a look at what's under the hood real quick. So powering this Kona is a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, made it to an 8-speed torque converted automatic transmission. Gone are the DCT, and there is no CVT, so that is super nice to see in here. The 1.6 turbo is proven to be a pretty reliable powertrain from Hyundai, and an 8-speed transmission is always welcome in a car like this. No CVT drones, the transmission is nice. We'll get into more of this while we go for a drive. Fuel economy on this is 24 city, 30 highway, and about 26 combined miles a gallon. Up front here, you are greeted with ventilated and heated seats, both for the driver and passenger. The driver is power and super comfortable. Really been enjoying the seats this week. No complaints at all. Do have a Bose stereo system as well. Up front here, like I said earlier, you do have two dual 12.3-inch screens. Gauge cluster that's fully customizable. Your infotainment that has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's wireless as well. Works really nice. And you do get a reverse 360 cam, which is super nice to see in a car like this, especially for this price. This infotainment is really nice. It's super responsive. You can leave voice memos, get weather. It does have built-in navigation, Hyundai Pay, vehicle diagnostics. I mean, it's very responsive, works really nice. Most of the time you're going to be in Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The Bose stereo system sounds really good as well. We'll be testing that later. Coming down through here, you do have your automatic climate controls. You do have 3 automatic modes as well, which I'll get into that later. That's super nice. Down here you get a couple USB-C ports, and if you press this button, you can convert this USB-C port to charge only or Apple CarPlay. So that's super nice. If you plug in something that you don't want to interfere with your Apple CarPlay, you have that option available to you. 12-volt outlet over here. Your ventilated seat controls, drive mode selector with all-wheel drive lock. You do get a heated steering wheel as well with 2 levels. Parking cameras, which is super nice to see. Can even drag this around. Down here you do get a couple cup holders that just magically appear. These will be fun to play with until they break, which hopefully they won't. And then back here you do get a decent sized center console. It's kind of open, which is a little odd. Stuff tends to slide around in here. It's not rubber coated or anything, so if I own this I would probably put like some rubber mat down here to keep stuff from sliding, but you do have that available to you. These are just so much fun to play with. You do get a decent sized glove box as well, and some storage up here. Once again, things will slide up here as it's just smooth, so I would advise probably getting a rubber mat if you decide to purchase one of these. Do have a auto dimming mirror with home link for your garage door as well, and illuminated visor mirrors, which is super nice to see. I've had multiple people in here over the week because I was just blown away of how nice this interior is. Everybody that has checked this thing out this week has said this feels like a luxury car to them. Initial impressions. I mean, obviously, as you knock on some things, it's going to feel a little cheap, but there's no squeaks, no rattles at all. And this thing has 7,020 miles on it. And for a press car, that's a lot of miles. This thing's been, pretty beat up by, other journalists and things, and no squeaks and no rattles in this interior at all. Can't say the same on my 2024 Honda Civic I just bought, but this thing I think is holding up nicely. This gauge cluster is super customizable as well. You can just go into the infotainment here and choose different themes that you want. I do wish in this mode here, with the analog speedometer, you had a digital speedometer in the middle, but you can't get that. You have to go to the simple. A little bit of a bummer, but it's not the end of the world. This vehicle also does come equipped with ambient lighting as well. Looks super nice. You can choose whatever color you want, and you can even tie it to the drive modes as well. I think that about covers everything on the features on this Hyundai Kona. So let's go ahead and take this thing for a spin. And before we do that, please be sure to like the video. It helps me out as a creator. It helps push the video out to other people so that they can see it and, feeds into the YouTube algorithm. You guys all know how that works. And if you enjoyed it even more than that, please consider subscribing as well. I publish car reviews weekly. Got a lot of cool cars coming up as well. So feel free to hit that subscribe button. Now, Hyundai has moved the gear selector from down here to up here, and I love this gear selector. I'm not sure if you can see it real well from my point of view, but all you got to do is just twist it forward to go forward and twist it in backwards to go backwards. And it's like a two-step selection. So you can just ever so slightly push it forward, like a one step, and it'll go in neutral and then put it in park by just pressing a button. It's super intuitive. This interior overall is easy to figure out and easy to use. I have had my mom in here and she was able to figure everything out. I've had my in-laws in here and they were able to figure everything out very easily. So it's nice to see physical buttons. Nothing's really tied in the infotainment that is necessary, and no complaints here at all with that. Super nice to see that they included the blind spot turn signals. That is awesome to have. Definitely enjoyed that this week on some highway trips. As you can see, I have put 312 miles on this vehicle. So I've had 11 hours of seat time in this, and I have enjoyed every single second of it. Right off the bat, the ride is incredible for this class. It is super cushy, super nice. It's, I would say, definitely class leading. Off camera, I've driven a 2024 Corolla Cross. I've driven a Mazda CX-30, driven a Honda HR-V, and I genuinely think the Hyundai Kona rides the best. It is very quiet on the interior as well, and especially over highway speeds. NVH is kept to a minimum. There's no loud reverberations when you hit an expansion joint on a bridge. It doesn't just rattle your bones and rattle through the interior. It's really, really refined in here. You have blind spot monitoring in the mirrors as well if you don't want to use that, but it's nice to have all these features available to you that are actually useful and not gimmicks. Makes for a super ultra safe driving experience. Now, I really, really like this powertrain. It's not perfect. The 1.6 liter turbo does have a fair amount of turbo lag, and there's a fair amount of delay when you hit the gas. Not as bad as a Volkswagen Taos. I think they could tune that a little bit better. But overall, I'm really impressed with this drivetrain. The power level here is adequate. It's actually more than adequate. I think it's, we'll do a 0 to 60 here soon, but I think it's more than enough for the targeted buyer. You're not going to buy a Hyundai Kona to go drag racing in. This is just meant to be a nice commuter to work or wherever you need to be, and I think the power level here is perfect. I think gears 4, 5, 6, 7, and obviously 8 are super close spaced to where it keeps you in the power band while you're accelerating. You don't really fall out of the power band at all, which is nice. You kind of just fly down the road, barely tapping the gas. All right, let's throw it into sport mode here. Come to a complete stop and do a 0 to 60. And floor it. There's the turbo lag. Once that turbo gets spooled up, it pulls pretty hard. No complaints at all, like I said, with the power level here. For the targeted buyer, it's more than enough. Definitely faster than the Honda HR-V. Definitely faster than the Toyota Corolla Cross non-hybrid, and I believe it would probably be on par with the hybrid version of that. Obviously, the CX-30 would dust this thing with the, the turbocharged version of that. It's not class leading, but it's definitely beating a lot of others, all while getting relatively the same fuel economy as the competitors as well. You have traffic sign recognition here. Actually, let's go this way. Let's take a left. Man, it's really hard to see with all this corn. They always like to plant them on the edge there. Kind of wish they would kind of take it a little bit farther back so it's easier for us drivers to see. Like I said, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8th gear are a very close ratio, and this transmission shifts extremely quick. It kind of reminds me of a DCT, how fast it shifts between those gears. Brakes feel very confidence-inspiring. Before this video was shot, we had absolutely torrential downpours, which is why this car's kind of a little wet and dirty on the outside. And at no point did I feel that this vehicle was unsafe or wallowing all over the road. I think this thing weighs about 3,600 pounds. So, it's planted to the road. You're not just going to hydroplane everywhere because it's so light. And I think it would truck through the snow pretty nicely too. I'd love to have one of these in the snow. What surprised me about this vehicle is there's no auto start stop system. And I haven't had a vehicle in 2024 that I've tested brand new that doesn't have auto start stop. That's very nice to see here. As far as reliability goes, you don't have a CVT, you don't have the auto start stop system. The 1.6 liter turbo is proven to be a pretty reliable powertrain for Hyundai. And it's just, I think overall, as far as a long-term vehicle, this just makes a whole lot of sense. And you have a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty to back you up. The level of refinement here, the quality of the materials, even though some of the plastics aren't that great, but like, who cares? It looks awesome. It doesn't rattle. Like, just an incredible car for the money. Get up to 40 and punch it. Quite a bit of turbo lag, like I said, and you've seen before. But once that turbo gets spooled up, you're gone. The transmission doesn't really like to downshift occasionally. It does get a little bit jerky at times. I know the lower trim levels offer a CVT on this. I would definitely step up to the 1.6 turbo with this 8-speed transmission. It's incredible. You have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel as well that you can shift manually. If you want to be a little sporty in your Kona. Steering here, it's kind of vague. Actually very vague. For the targeted buyer, it's fine. I'm a driving enthusiast. I prefer to have some road feel. I can't get over how comfortable these seats are. Even my wife, we sat in here probably 4 hours yesterday, Sunday, just on a road trip, just for fun, and we were extremely comfortable. That's something I cannot say about my 2024 Civic Touring. Now you do have Hyundai's Highway Driving Assist as well, and Adaptive Cruise Control. Works extremely nice, keeps you centered in your lane. Doesn't nag at you too much to keep your hands on the wheel. Obviously, you want to keep your hands on the wheel on a system like this. It's not a hands-free driving experience, but it does reduce some of that driver stress a little bit and can kind of keep you relaxed for those longer trips. Hyundai's Highway Driving Assist, I think, is one of the best in the business, and especially getting it in a car like this for this kind of money is just absolutely incredible. It's miles ahead of Hondas and Toyotas. It's not even on the same level, to be honest with you. Adaptive cruise control works really nice. Like I said, it has lane tracing assist that'll keep you centered in your lane, forward collision warning. The whole standard of safety suites that everybody offers, this thing has. But that highway driving assist is just incredible. All right, let's see how it performs in this roundabout here. Some body roll. Kind of hear the tires breaking loose a little bit there. You're not going to really canyon carve in your Hyundai Kona, but it can handle a corner. Pretty average compared to the competitors. I think the Mazda CX-30 is a little bit more fun to drive around a corner, a little bit more sporty feeling. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that Bose sound system here. Let's get its song pulled up. Let's go to the next song. I love this sound system. I think it's equivalent to the 2024 Civic's Bose sound system. I think I rated that a low to mid B tier system. It's just as good as that. Strong bass. You can dial it down to if you need to, and yeah, just overall good sound experience. Once again, for the class of this car, incredible. One thing I like about the climate control system here is, the three modes of automatic climate. You got, high, medium, or low. And typically, when you get in a car with automatic climate on a very hot day, you start up your car, it just completely blows you away with, the fan and stuff like that. It's super loud. It's kind of a little bit distracting. And when I have this on low, it dials that down considerably, so where it's not just blasting you right when you get in the car, and allows you to be able to be less distracted from all the noise happening around you. I just can't get over how much tech that is in this car for the price that you pay. Especially even having like ventilated seats. That is super nice to have, and these ventilated seats actually work really nicely. They're not they're not a gimmick, and just because you have one of the lower end Hyundais, it's not a penalty box in here. It doesn't feel like you're getting a subpar car at all. You know, I've been in a Palisade calligraphy, I've been in the Santa Fe calligraphy, and I honestly think this feels just as good as those vehicles. You're not getting penalized at all if you buy one of these. I think I can do better on the 0 to 60 if I launch it, maybe spool the turbo up just a little bit. Let's turn that back into sport mode here. Come to a complete stop. Boost it just a little bit. And floor. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. That felt a lot better off the line. I'm not sure if it's coming through on camera, but you know, there's a considerable amount of turbo noise, you know, coming from this area here. I think this vehicle makes peak torque at 17 or 1800 RPM, and you know, it's hilarious. It kind of sounds like a semi the way the turbo spools up. I love the screen. At first, I was kind of like, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but after living with this for a week, it's very nice. It's very seamless. I'm glad they just didn't, you know, stick a tablet in the dash and call it good. You know, like everybody does, you know, with the tablet sticking out in the dash. It's actually ingrained in the dash nicely, and you know, doesn't look that bad at all. If I had to nitpick, sometimes the white font on the silver material here, the brushed silver, is a little hard to see during the daytime. Oh, there is one more thing I want to show you. Oh, check that out. It literally just notified me that my device is in the wireless charger. I think I did forget to mention this does have wireless charging as well. That absolutely bakes your phone. If you forgot to leave your phone in here, it notifies you on the gauge cluster there, which is super nice. All right, one more trick. Check out this key fob. It's interesting. You can see it has the Hyundai logo, but it's absolutely giant and leaves a pretty big bulge in your pocket. Kind of makes your pants look funny. But this vehicle does come equipped with the Hyundai Smart Park feature as well. You've seen it on other Hyundais for years now, and it's nice that it's offered here. You know, you just press and hold the button here, and this car will automatically move for you. And you know, if you need to back it out of a puddle, or if you're in a tight space and you can't get in your car because the moron that parked next to you parked too close, this is a great use of that feature. And as soon as you let go of the key fob, it stops the vehicle. You can also go forward as well. We'll put this back. We'll take our car for a walk to the original stopping position. Super nice feature. I can't see myself using it very often. It's kind of more of a party trick. I love how it just slams the brakes when you let off the thing there. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video on the all-new 2024 Hyundai Kona Limited all-wheel drive. What a treat this has been this week to live with. I actually kind of want one of these now. It's very fun. You know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys think on the all-new 2024 Kona and how it kind of stacks up to the competitors. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Paul's Place YT for some additional content behind the scenes. Be sure to like and subscribe as well. And as always, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.